Welcome to the Marin Virtual College Fair. We have a wonderful lineup of institutions for you to hear from this evening. Welcome. Thanks so much for joining us. I have just a couple of housekeeping items before we get started this evening. At the bottom of your screen, you're going to see a Q&A area. So feel free to put your questions in that area anytime during the presentation tonight. It might be before the presenter goes or during their presentation or even afterwards. They will be monitoring the chat or monitoring that Q&A. I would encourage you to direct it to a specific college. So list the name out the college and then list the question so they know who you're directing their question to. This is a webinar, so your camera and your microphone are off, so our panelists cannot see or hear you this evening. This is just one of the many sessions that's happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. Go back to that website where you registered because this session is being recorded, and our session as well as other sessions will be up within a week. So without further ado, I am going to turn it over to our panelists. So up first, you're going to hear from Willamette University.
All right, well, hello everyone. My name is Caitlin Forbes. I'm an admission counselor here at Willamette. Welcome, I'm so excited to start the fair off today. So I'm just gonna tell you a little bit about our school, and without further ado, I'll just jump into it. So Willamette University was founded in 1842. We are located in Salem, Oregon, which isn't too far away from Marin County, California. For some background, I'm actually from Northern California myself, and I absolutely love it here in Salem, Oregon. Willamette is quite an old university. As you can see, we were founded in 1842. We're actually older than the state of Oregon is itself. And so there's a lot of institutional historical knowledge there, but we're also super progressive in our education, which I think is such an interesting combination. For example, one of our first graduates from our College of Medicine in 1877 was a woman, which makes us one of the first coeducational universities in the state, or in the West, actually. So I'm just really excited to share a little bit about Willamette today, and you're going to see that really good intersection between historical knowledge and progressive thinking throughout this presentation. So we are a four-year private liberal arts college, and we have 4 different professional schools. We have the College of Law, the Atkinson Graduate School of Management, the Claremont School of Theology, which is in their first year here with our partnership with them, and the Pacific Northwest College of Art, which is our new addition, which actually started up last month. So we're very excited to have opportunities for students not only at the undergraduate level, but at the graduate level as well. Additionally, we are one of the 40 colleges that change lives. For a quick background, that was a book originally published to highlight some colleges across the nation that truly were providing educations for their students that would change their lives for the better. And then those students would in turn go out to impact the communities around them. And Willamette 100% does that. Our students are very community oriented, and they're big on change and just enacting change wherever they go. I do have some numbers here for you. So we do have about 1,800 undergraduate students. We have 52 academic programs, including a design your own major. We also do have a 54-year partnership with the Tokyo International University of America, which is really exciting. Every spring, 100 or so students from the Tokyo International University come to our campus for their American Studies program, which is a great cultural competency learning program for our students. And we also get to send students over to the Tokyo International University for their abroad experience as well. So that's a very strong partnership that we have. We also do have over 66 study abroad partnerships. Speaking of going abroad, that's really strong. It's run through our Office of International Education, and they do a great job tailoring a student's abroad experience, from financial aid to making sure that their credits transfer, to making sure all those little details are taken care of. So study abroad is a very popular option at our school. We're also 76 feet away from the state capitol building. You won't find another university in closer proximity to a state capitol building in the nation. And with that comes a plethora of opportunities for our students. I would say at any given time, about 80% of the interns at the state capitol building are indeed Willamette students. And that ranges from politics majors to English majors to communications majors. They just love Willamette because they know that our students work really hard. They're a great asset to any team, and they're very good at working in group settings and individually. We also do have an 11-to-1 student to faculty ratio and an average class size of 17. So you're really going to get a student-centered education at Willamette. You're going to get to know your faculty, you're going to get to know your professors and your academic advisors. These are your champions throughout your academic journey at Willamette. We also have, speaking of the number 11, 11 Oregon Professors of the Year, which means that not only do I think our faculty are amazing, but the state of Oregon agrees with me. So not only are you getting really close access to faculty members, but people who are huge in their fields, which is amazing. And we do have a number of research opportunities for students as well. So because you have that close proximity with professors, many of them do labs or conducting research outside of the classroom. And so many students will be interns or take on research assistant roles and helping out their professors, which is a really great experience. We also do offer dual degree programs in law, business, and data science. So these programs allow you to streamline your bachelor undergraduate degree in 3 years, and then you can transfer over to a graduate degree program and finish that in a couple of years as well. So if you're looking early on to streamline that process, we have amazing options for you. And then outside the classroom, our students are heavily involved in things outside of the classroom. On average, the Willamette student is involved in about 2 to 3 things outside the classroom. We have over 100 clubs and organizations. Community is so important here, not only finding your academic journey and making sure you're being academically challenged, but also making sure you're finding a community with your peers. So we do have over 100 clubs and organizations, and that number does continue to go up as students find subjects that they're really interested in, or they want to make a club with their friends. We do also have 19 NCAA Division III varsity athletics. And so if you're interested in being a student athlete, we have those options. We're actually adding women's triathlon in 2021, which is really exciting. We also do offer intramural sports on our campus as well. So if you're interested in participating in intramurals at a less competitive level, we have that. We have over 20 music ensembles and performing arts clubs. We have student government, multicultural organizations, and more. The list goes on and on and on. But I want to also let you know about the application process, where you can find us. So you can apply to Willamette on the common application. We do have a couple of deadlines coming up. We have early decision, early action, which will be November 15th, and regular decision, which is January 15th. There are no application fees, no supplemental essays required, and we are test optional. And when I mean test optional, I really, truly mean test optional. We have been test optional for a number of years now. We recognize that SATs and ACT scores don't necessarily reflect a student's academic potential. So we want to give students the option to disclose those scores or not. So if you are looking for a test optional school, we definitely have that. You can also see the other requirements here. I'd be more than happy to talk to you about that one-on-one. And speaking of which, here's my contact information. Please email me at any point. Check out our virtual visit options. I'd love to connect you more with our campus resources and or see you on campus. We have on-campus tours. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Willamette. Boy, that 6 minutes goes fast, doesn't it, Caitlin?
Yes, she does.
Next up, you're going to hear from the University of Redlands.
All right, good evening, everyone. I'm also going to go ahead and share my screen. I've got some visuals for you. I'm really excited that you are all listening in. There's a great lineup, as Courtney said earlier, of colleges and universities for you to learn more about. So since we have 6 minutes, I'm going to get started as well and share with you just really broad strokes about the University of Redlands. But really overall, this is an invitation for you to come and learn more about the university. So we'll start off with just some basic information about our location, because often the question is where is Redlands? Is it in the Redwoods? But no, we are in Southern California. And I like to talk about the University of Redlands campus really feeling like it's in the heart of Southern California, partly because we're about 60 miles away from some of the most beautiful places in Southern California. So from our campus, you can get out to the mountains in less than an hour. You can be in Palm Springs or Joshua Tree National Park, also within an hour's drive. You can be in San Diego in 2 hours and then out to Orange County in about an hour or so. The closest airport to us is Ontario, and Los Angeles is the next one over. That can take you anywhere. Well, Ontario will take you about 30 minutes, and the Los Angeles International Airport can take you anywhere between an hour and 2, depending on traffic. And I know those of us that have lived in the Bay Area, we know what that's like. One of the cool things about our campus is that we're named a top Southern California college town. So there's a lot for you to do. We spend a lot of time outdoors and everything from backpacking and hiking. You can kind of sit outside under the trees. We've got tons of trees on campus and your iconic palm trees in Southern California. So we really do enjoy the great outdoors and enjoy kind of building community around lots of different outdoor type of activities. The other piece actually that I'll share with you about our campus is that we're also on about 160 acres. And so it is a very walkable campus. And sometimes I say that and it feels a little silly because you might wonder, well, how else would I get to my classes? But there are some campuses that might be a bit larger where you might have to shuttle around from one place to another. But on our campus, you can literally get from one end of the campus to the other in less than 10 minutes. The downtown area, which is where a lot of students enjoy spending time, is within about an 8-minute bike ride from campus. So things are certainly very accessible. The campus really prides itself on our mission. We've been around since 1907, and our mission has always been this idea of educating your heart and your mind, being able to position you to be challenged academically, but also for you to take those lessons from the classroom and be able to see those come to life in the real world. So there are lots of different ways that we support sort of that mission and philosophy. One of those ways is through an opportunity to do community service. So we are actually one of the few non-religious universities to require community service as part of a graduation requirement. Our students love it. It's an important and kind of essential part of our academics. We also really encourage students to study abroad. We work with over 80 different organizations and institutions across the world, and over half of our students are taking advantage of study abroad opportunities. You don't have to major in anything specific to study abroad. We really do tailor that experience based on your needs and your interests. We are also a residential campus. We ask our students to live there. You're guaranteed housing all 4 years. And the residence halls experience vary depending on the residence hall. Each one is slightly different. Some of them have living and learning communities. And so there's a lot of programming that happens in the residential communities. We're also a very active campus. It is really fun to be a University of Redlands Bulldog. There's lots of fun sort of traditions and then a really active campus with over 120 clubs and organizations and lots of opportunities for you to create your own if you would like to do that. The organizations really vary in terms of type. So organizations that focus on like culturally focused organizations, we have sororities, fraternities, honor societies, and lots more. We also have over 200 events that we host during a given year, ranging from speakers to music and theater performances and a bunch of stuff in between. So it is fun and very active. In terms of our academic programs, you will notice that we have a lot. We have over 40 different programs that you can choose from. Our most popular majors include biology, psychology, communication sciences and disorders, and our Johnston program, which is a create your own major. One of the things to note about our campus and our process is that you do not have to declare a major. We will actually ask you for your academic interest, and we do not admit under a specific major. So you have time to choose. We do a lot of other pieces too, advising programs into like law school. So we do a pre-law, pre-med, and pre-health program, and we have a dual degree teacher program as well. So lots of stuff here. And if you'd like to learn more, I'm happy to chat with you more a little bit later. Our faculty advisors are very much committed to teaching, and they will work with you one-on-one. Faculty to student ratio is 1 faculty for 13 students, and we have an average class size of 18. And here's just a quick slide on the Johnston Center, as well as our School of Music. Our admissions process is holistic. We have application for both transfer and first-year students. We are also test optional, and very much like Willamette, we mean it. Test optional means test optional on our campus. We also really pride ourselves on having very generous financial aid packages. So what I'll underscore here is that our merit scholarships go up to $31,000. We have a Cal Grant guarantee for California students This is a program for a student who receives the Cal Grant A and has a 3.5 GPA or higher. If you meet those qualifications, then your financial aid package will show full tuition based on a combination of your merit, your Cal Grant, and your and any institutional funds that we will provide. And finally, just to wrap up, we have a lot of support to helping you transition out into the world of work. And we also offer something called our 4-year promise, which means that we love you on campus, but we want to see you in, through, and out within a 4 years time frame, and we work really hard to make that happen. Thanks so much for your attention, and I look forward to talking with you more.
Thank you so much, Belinda. Wow, I've already learned so much about the 2 institutions that have already had a chance to speak with you, but we still have 2 more. So up next is Seattle University.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jared Rabago. I'll be sharing my screen as well, since I do have a PowerPoint as well. So at Seattle University, you're really going to get a sense of that mission-driven, mission-focused institution that we have. And really, that's what unifies a lot of our students, faculty, and staff. So both inside of the classroom and outside of the classroom, you're going to really find a focus and an emphasis on ethics, community engagement, service, and really a great sense of social justice, diversity, and inclusion, as well as access. So as you can see in this next slide, everything in this red border is about 60 acres. And so as you can see, we're very much in a centralized location in Seattle. Downtown is just a 15-minute walk, but of course, you're more than welcome to take public transportation, which is on all sides of us. Seattle International Airport is just a taxi, Uber, Lyft, or even train or tram ride away, which is about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on traffic. But really, despite our very urban campus, it's a traditional college atmosphere and very much that traditional college vibe that you get, with the added benefits of being in a city like Seattle. So you're going to be in the forefront of a lot of internships, building your professional networks right off the bat, as well as then also do fun stuff on the weekends, right? We have definitely a couple of different landmarks. So like Pike's Place Market, Space Needle, as you can see in that photo in the distance, is actually visible from one of our residence halls, as well as then where Seattle is just known for their numerous coffee shops, right? In terms of education, we're a direct entry institution. And so with that said, we are also test optional. One of the things that I love to highlight about our education and academics at Seattle University is our core curriculum. So it really engages you all in that liberal arts interdisciplinary approach that we have for our students. And so all of our classes are taught 100% by professors. So in that average class size of about 18, those core classes are really going to challenge you and really push you into broadening your perspectives and really focus around really pressing and thought-provoking questions. So some of those core classes could be like, how can I use art for social change? Can we fix healthcare? Or we have a couple of theology classes in terms of requirements that could be things like sports and spirituality, or gender, sexuality in the Bible. So really looking at different approaches and intersections to answer these very much pressing issues. We're about a small to medium-sized college with 4,700 students in terms of undergraduate students. Going a little deeper into that average class size, I do also want to mention that our largest class is only about 30 to 35 students, with then also the smallest class size being about 4 to 6. We are very much a residential campus with over 94% of our freshmen and sophomores living on campus. And then going a little further into about the percentages, as you can see, 59% of our undergraduate students come from outside of the state of Washington. So again, very much a residential campus in the city. So you're never going to feel like it's empty or a ghost town or anything like that. So going further into that student life, this is just really a small sampling of what we offer in terms of clubs and also campus resources. I highlighted a lot of our cultural and affinity organizations that are student run, but do know that we have over 130 different clubs on campus. And if you can't find that club that really resonates with you, all you have to do is get 5 of your friends, a faculty or staff advisor, and then you can be an officially recognized club on campus. One of the other things that I love to highlight in terms of campus resources is our outreach center. And as a first generation college student myself, I really wish at that time Seattle U had an outreach center. So the center really focuses on programming and helping students persist and stay in higher education, as well as then teaching you life skills. And so things like, how do I balance my checkbook, or how do I continue to pay for college? As far as the application process is concerned, we're a common application school. And so again, we're also test optional as well. So you're still going to be able to be admitted directly into the major. We do also offer transfer students on a rolling basis. In terms of deadlines and all of that, early action, like everyone else, is November 15th. Regular decision is January 15th. For transfer deadlines, it's on a rolling basis, but we accept them all year round. We also do a holistic review and holistic approach to our application process. So while it is very academically heavy, within that first half of this circle, the other added benefit of a holistic review is looking at the second half of this circle, which is really going to comprise of who you are outside of the classroom and focus in on those extra little bits that make you a standout individual and not just a student. As far as financial aid, scholarships, and all of that, it is private school education. So the estimated total cost of attendance is fairly high, but we are very generous in terms of merit scholarships, which on the upper end is now a little over $25,000. The Sullivan Leadership Award is our full tuition or full ride scholarship, which over 90% of our students receive an average package of about $32,000. And with that said, my time is almost up. So I also want to provide you with my email address, which is listed there, as well as my phone number. But thank you all for listening to me, and hope you have learned a lot.
Thank you, JR. We really appreciate it. Last call to put those questions in the Q&A at the bottom of your screen. Our panelists are watching that Q&A box. Our final presentation tonight will be from the University of Nevada, Reno.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Linda Dannemiller, and I'm the Bay Area Regional Representative for University of Nevada, Reno. Thank you for being here this evening. A little bit about us. We sit over, and I just want to share quickly, I am based in the Bay Area, very familiar with Marin County. I'm here in Napa, so I'm very familiar with all the high schools there. A little bit about where we sit. We're in Reno, Nevada. We're about 4 hours from the Bay Area, give or take. We're about 40 minutes from Lake Tahoe. You can see an aerial view of our campus right here. Sits right at the base of the Sierra Nevada mountains. A little bit about our statistics. We have just about 18,000 students on our campus. We are heavily undergraduate focused. We have just about 800 million in new facilities in the last 12 years on our campus. We probably have 12 new buildings. This is a picture of some of our newer construction right here. That's our library. We have no impacted programs. So we have about 145 academic majors on our campus, and students can come in undecided and not worry about getting into a major. All of our majors are direct admission with the exception of nursing. We keep our class sizes small. It's about 18-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We are Division I athletics, big school spirit, lots of students rooting for our sports teams on campus. We're in the Mountain West Conference. We have 250 student organizations on our campus. So our students are really kind of involved in a little bit of everything. We are known for our study abroad program. We host students in about 28 countries. We host the WACAC office on our campus. So students have that right there and available to study, as I said, in about 28 countries. We are a Tier 1 university, so we sit in the designation with about 500 schools in the United States that have that designation. Majors that are popular for us include engineering, business, sciences. We have a medical school on our campus, liberal arts, and education. We are a residential campus. Students are pretty much required to live on campus 1 year, and students typically stay on our campus 2 years. We have a couple new residence halls on our campus. We are a highly diverse campus. Students are coming to us from all over the United States, all different backgrounds. And students love us for our location, as I said earlier, Lake Tahoe, 40 minutes away. We have a newer area of Reno that's been developed downtown called Midtown, and that's specific to kind of our college students with eclectic restaurants and stores. Our average GPA for admission is about a 3.4. Students are asked to have a 3.0 weighted GPA in their core classes for admission, and that's admission to your major with the exception of nursing. That's our only major that is not direct admission. We are test optional for fall, and we are not part of the common application. We have our own application on our website, and it's a very simple application. We do not ask for letters of recommendation or essays. We are a Western undergraduate exchange tuition discount school. So we give that to every major that qualifies, and that brings your tuition down to about $11,000 per year. Our GPA for that requirement is a 3.25, again, for every major. If you don't have the 3.25, but you have the 3.0, which is what you need to get in, you can get an $8,000 discount, which brings your tuition to just over $13,000. Again, it's open to all majors, no separate application. We do offer campus tours. We've been offering in-person tours since July, as well as virtual. We would love to have you come up to Reno for a tour. And my information is listed right here in the corner. Again, my name is Linda, and I thank you for being with us this evening.
Thank you, Linda, and thanks to all the panelists tonight. I would now like everyone, or to invite you all to turn back on your cameras and give you the opportunity to either one, share an answer to something that was asked in the chat or in the Q&A if you'd rather answer that verbally, or a campus tradition, a fun fact about your institution, or possibly some advice to seniors and families going through this process right now. So we'll start with Willamette.
Sure, yeah, I'll definitely just touch on something that I'd love to talk about is just where Salem is located in the state of Oregon. We're really centrally located. We're about an hour away from Portland, an hour away from the coast, and an hour away from the mountains. So if you're into adventuring, going to Portland, experiencing the great restaurants and food they have there, going shopping, going on hikes and adventures, Salem is definitely centrally located. So we have all of that available. So I just wanted to kind of plug Salem there as just an amazing place to visit if you're going to visit Oregon.
I love that. I think sometimes students don't think about the communities they're in, and that's a great reminder to think about that. University of Redlands.
All right, well, I have an answer for pretty much every prompt that you shared out there. So maybe what I can share is advice for those of you that are listening. You know, I think right now it is a time of great confusion and stress, I think, for a lot of students and their families. And so, you know, I think as an admission counseling community, many of us have really come out to say, you know, we're going to work with you as you go through this process, as you navigate this journey that is probably going to be unlike any other, you know, class that will go through this. And so I think that the advice that I can give you is just to, you know, continue to do your research, reach out to the admission offices as you know, select those that you're thinking about, and as institutions move up your list. We're here to help you and to work with you and to kind of support that journey. And so while I can't tell you to not stress out, because that's not fair, right? There's a lot of different stressors. Know that we are here to support and to try to create a process that is not as stressful, hopefully. You know, I think the test optional policy allows many of us to be able to open up our campuses and create some access there. So hang in there, reach out to us as you need to, and we're happy to help you and your family navigate this time.
Linda, that's a really important note. I think students might have realized that they had their family members, hopefully, to support them. They realized that they probably had their school counselors, maybe older siblings or friends, but they probably didn't realize that they had all of you there to support them. And, you know, those of you that are listening, all of these people on the screen are your experts in the colleges and universities that you're most excited about. So please use them instead of College Confidential or asking someone and that you heard from someone's grandfather's brother that this was the story at that college or institution. So get that information from the college or institution that you're most serious about. So up next, JR from Seattle University.
Yeah, I also have a piece of advice for you all in as juniors, seniors, or wherever you are in this college process, is really just make sure that you take a step back and realize that you're still in high school. You have to have fun, right? That's part of your experience at high school, and this time should be something that you're grateful for and you can look back on. So that would be definitely my piece of advice, is take a step back from the application and then go and live your life and then come back to it.
Yes, take a breather. There is life after college applications, right? And finally, Linda from University of Nevada, Reno.
Well, I'm going to tell you really quickly. I've been at University of Nevada, Reno. I've been in admissions for about 20 years, so I am a really good resource for you. But I've been at the university for about 5 years, and this background right here is Lake Tahoe. This is an actual hike that I took, and I love the setting of the university. I think it's a perfect location from the Bay Area. And my tip for you would be to just keep an open mind. California has great schools. We live in a great state here, but just pick a couple schools outside of California and just go visit them and just have an open mind. If you end up in California, great. You checked out other schools, but pick some schools tonight that maybe you never would have thought of. So I wish you all the best of luck.
Great advice, Linda. And with that, I'm going to share my last piece of advice, which would be to celebrate your senior year. Have a little fun, as JR mentioned. There's lots to still celebrate, even though it's a kind of a crazy year. So celebrate that first submission of your application, first acceptances. There's lots of fun milestones to celebrate. So with that, thank you so much for joining us tonight. As you close out the window, you're going to get a link to a very quick 4-question survey. So I hope that you'll provide us some feedback. Sign up for more sessions. This was recorded, as I mentioned before, and the recording will be available within a week at that same website where you registered. Best wishes with your college search process. And again, don't forget to have some fun. Bye, everyone.